All right, guys, just wanted to quick touch base with you. Welcome to Burroughs Motivation. Welcome to my channel. And I wanted to say, just please, if this is the first time here, thank you for coming to the page and to the channel. And I would say if you've not been exposed to any of my videos or anything like that, please feel free to dig into the library, listen to a couple of videos. Do like and subscribe. If you listen to a few and you like what you're hearing, please comment as well. It's much greatly appreciated. And for those who are returning, please go ahead and comment. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you can be notified of any of the new uploads that I'll be putting up. I try to really set a schedule for myself for posting videos Tuesday, Thursday, and setting up a live stream, YouTube live stream or Facebook Live coming up on Saturdays. So Tuesday, Thursday posting, live stream on Saturday. So with that being said, I wanted to touch base with I was listening to some stuff yesterday in preparation, trying to come up with some really good structured thoughts about this topic that I wanted to talk about. And the topic is there's no finish line, just mile markers. And in preparation, I was thinking of how having a predetermined finish line pretty much got me derailed. So back in June of 2016, I got started in my insurance business. And in the beginning, I was trying to lay out my goals for my business. And then my then wife, now my ex-wife, became really super negative about the goals and the things that I wanted to get done within the business, my insurance business. So I started to look at the other leaders in my business and realize that, the partnership level, the partnership is where I was really trying to get to as far as a predetermined set goal for myself. And on average, that normally takes about 18 to 24 months in order to make that happen. And as I began to work, as I started to meet the small goals, I got really more focused on the goal as a finish line. I was just hell bent on making it happen. And I had laser focus, which really I blocked out all my other distractions. I ate, drank, and slept my goal. I ate, slept, and drank my determination to make this goal happen in 18 months. I was more set on the 18 versus the 24 because, I'm a Marine, so we're kind of special anyways. But I wanted to hit that marker, and I was refused to be stopped. I was not going to be stopped or denied in making that happen. So I developed the discipline it took to make that happen. And, at a certain point, as I was growing and reaching my milestones and stuff like that, I sort of hit a production slump, if you will. And some of my numbers actually started going backwards, and which was really kind of confusing because I was putting in the work. I was doing what I needed to do. I was making the dials. I was meeting with the clients, doing presentations for their health insurance and such. And it actually, like I said, it started going backwards a little bit. And I just shook that off. I just, I got kind of like sidetracked, but I shook it off and got focused back into what I was doing. And I had set that in January 2018 is when I really wanted to meet that milestone of partnership. And at the event, the annual event that we have for our company. And so fast forward to January 2018, I didn't make it. I missed it. I came up short, and I was livid. I was so angry with myself because I put all in. I put all in. I did what I was supposed to do, and I kept going, and I came up short. And a lot of times people would, with that amount of effort towards a goal or towards a finish line, if you will, and then putting forth all that effort, they get kind of frustrated with the fact that it didn't happen. And yeah, I was frustrated. I was more than frustrated. I was pissed. I reached max level of pissivity. And, it took all that I could at that event to muster up enough positive to be encouraging and uplifting to those who had, were going to be recognized that night. And for those who, were receiving their partnership bonuses and stuff like that. So I mustered up all that positivity and then participated in that event and got back, to Florida after the event and didn't realize that the numbers were actually 45 days off. Not in that the company did wrong in reporting it, just the fact that it takes 45 days for your work to catch up. To get credit for some of the work that some of the sales and, some of the policies to go into effect. So I actually ended up hitting partner in February of 2018. And my plan, in my plan, I didn't realize that, that was going to be like that. And I sort of got sidetracked. And so in January, when I left the event, I downshifted into second gear and I floored it. And it was kind of ridiculous in the fact that I just went all in, I don't know if you remember that show back in the day, Pink's All Out. Those guys run their car hard. And that's sort of what I did. I blew the doors off. I blew the doors off me physically, emotionally, mentally. I doubled down and I went all in. And like I said, in February is when the numbers caught up. I actually made partner in February. I was stupid excited about it because, it was one of those big major milestones for me. And short of being a father, short of earning the title of Marine, that was like the next most important thing that I've ever accomplished in my life. And I put that much weight behind it. I put that much, blood, sweat, and tears, and I wanted to be amongst those who, the elite, not from a money perspective, but I had to prove it to myself. I had to prove it to myself that I had it within me to make it happen. And when I came up short, I was mad. I was angry. But at the same time, I got it done that very next month. And, the problem then is, so once I got all the accolades came in from the other partners across the country. And once it really got down to it, after all that had subsided, I realized that I didn't have a next step. I didn't have another goal set. So, really it sort of pushed me into a little bit of a slump, a little bit of a depression, because I reached this awesome milestone. I burst through the wall. I was like, yeah, I made it. And then realized I was all alone. I was all alone in this. Once the dust settles, I didn't have anybody to really share it with, within my personal inner circle. And that sort of got me a little bit off track. And it took me about a year or so to get past that, to reformulate my plan, to reformulate my goals for going forward. And that this is, if I'm going to be in this for the long haul, I need to think of it more of a marathon versus a sprint. And a lot of people a lot of people, when they have a goal or a dream that they want to accomplish, it hits, they make it happen, and then they die off. And they're never great again. But then those individuals that do that and they never make it back to doing other great things, I call them, those are the leftover league, or those are the guys or gals that try to live in their glory days, and they are trying to keep that spark alive from 40 years ago when they caught the winning touchdown in the state championship football game. Those are people that just haven't moved on. Those are people that have greatness within them, but they have not been able to rechamber or refocus their energy to go on and do greater things. They're leaving too much on the table. So instead of fading to black and just disappearing and going on, I decided to refocus and rechamber. And from doing that is where this came about. A year and a half, 2 years later, that's where Burroughs Motivation came into play. That's where, in changing myself is where this whole endeavor grew from. And I'm really, really excited about the fact that, being able to show people that they have greatness within them. They have things that they want to accomplish. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but they're able to do it. Or those people that have gone out and done some great things, you got more work to do. You still have greater things that you need to accomplish. The game is not over yet. Until they bury you, put you in the ground, you're not done. And that's one of the things that I get excited about. And one of the things that I get focused on right now is if you're needing a little bit of oomph, just figure out what you want to do, figure out where you're going, reset another goal, reset another, focus point, and realize that it's not a finish line. It's a mile marker. It's like, as you're running a marathon, mile marker 35 or 20, 20, most people are like, oh, wow, that's kind of crazy. It's no longer your mile markers as you're training. You're going for it now. And it's a marathon. It's a long distance run. I've never been a distance runner, but, in the Marine Corps, I had no choice, but, you can't put all your energy out in one spot and in one time. You have to be able to stretch it out, for the long haul. It reminds me of boot camp graduation. It was kind of interesting because you're on that parade deck. You have all the pride. You have all the, you got you got it. You earn the right. You earn the title. And once the drill instructors dismiss you, the company commander dismisses you, the drill instructors dismiss you, and people actually felt lost because the goal at that time was to get through boot camp. Come hell or high water, you're making that crap happen. And that's what you did. And you made it. And you're like, phew, now what? Where do I go now? We have so many goals and drives to make things happen. Where we fall short is the after program. Where do we go from here? If you don't have a goal or you don't have direction as where the next step is going to be, you sort of get lost in the wilderness, sort of like that Moses syndrome. You end up wandering around the desert for 40 years. I don't want to live that type of life. I don't want you guys to live that type of life. So if you've got some things that you want to make it happen or accomplish, let's set a game plan to make it happen. But at the same time, let's try to figure out where you want that to go from there. So plan with the end in mind, but the end in mind is just to set another goal to get to the next destination. Continuously growing. You don't want to get stagnant. You don't want to get through that and just run to the end of the tape and just like, okay, now we're done. Because that's when things tend to have a tendency to go south. So guys, I'm just really excited about this. I've refocused my goals, refocused my dream, refocused my drive. And I hope this will allow you to dig deep inside yourself to do the same thing. So, again, if you have not been a member of this page or this channel, feel free to subscribe, like, and definitely do comment because comments are good. And looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks.